missile attack in Abu Dhabi.
Let me make it brief. Since the Iranian attacks have started on Qatar, the threats and the attacks on civilian targets have not stopped. These attacks are ongoing every day, and the threat to civilians is ongoing every day. The fact that we had to evacuate, civilians, students, and faculty during the weekend is just one realization of what this means for the people who are living in these conditions. But we also assert that we have been able to this point, due to the bravery of the people in our armed forces, to withstand all of these threats and
Kuwait says it has arrested 16 people allegedly linked with Hezbollah, accused of planning a sabotage plot in the Gulf nation. Two Lebanese stations. Authorities say they seized weapons, military devices, and the United States is facing a growing escalation over its plans to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Fifth of the world's crude oil and liquefied natural gas normally pass through that shipping channel. For companies to send their warships and minesweepers to ensure tankers can transit safely. And he's been frustrated at the lack of support. U.S. President Donald Trump on Monday pressured to expressing frustration. None has been enthusiastic about helping to escort oil tankers to the Strait of Hormuz.
Numerous countries have told me they're on the way. Some are very enthusiastic about it, and some aren't. Some countries that we've helped for many, many years. We've protected them.
Countries like Japan and China, who rely on most of their oil traveling through the strait, have an obligation to help secure it after it was effectively shut down by Iran. Since the U.S. launched the war on Iran, gas prices have gone up by almost $1 in many U.S. states. That's 30% more than many Americans were paying just a month ago. As U.S. allies balk at sending warships, Trump had this response.
Maybe they don't want to be targeted, but I say it wouldn't matter if you're targeted or not, because this is a paper tiger that we're dealing with. It wasn't a paper tiger 2 weeks ago.
Trump told reporters the U.S. military had 7,000 Iranian targets, destroying Iranian drone manufacturing plants. Whether the conflict could end soon, and whether he'd be willing to talk to the Iranians.
Look, all of their leaders are dead, as far as we know. They're all dead. We don't know who we're dealing with.
The Israeli military has projected strikes on Iran could continue for several more weeks. But Trump insists Israel's not considering using a nuclear weapon should the war escalate.
Israel wouldn't do that. Israel would never do that.
Expected to continue his pressure campaign on foreign leaders. On Thursday, Japan's Prime Minister will meet here at the White House with the U.S. President, where it's expected they'll discuss Trump's call to dispatch ships to the Strait of Hormuz. Kimberly Helkett, Al Jazeera, the White House. Tensions around the Strait of Hormuz are hitting Asian markets. Energy-dependent economies like South Korea and Japan are under pressure as currencies weaken and stocks fall. As Kimberly mentioned in the report, the crisis is also testing long-standing U.S. alliances to the countries in the region. Jack Barton reports from Seoul.
South Korea's main cost index rose slightly on speculation that some oil and gas shipments may soon start passing through the Strait of Hormuz, which has been effectively closed by Iran. Despite the rise, South Korea's Kospi index has fallen about 10% since the U.S.'s health strikes on Iran began, and the Korean won is at its weakest against the dollar since the 2008 global financial crisis. The index is particularly vulnerable because of South Korea's dependence on Middle Eastern oil to fuel its export-driven economy. Financial services group Nomura has flagged it among the most exposed economies to the current crisis. Japan, which imports about 90% of its energy needs from the region, finds itself in a near-identical bind. On top of the economic strain, both countries are facing pressure from US President Donald Trump to send warships to the Strait of Hormuz, which at least 20% of the world's oil and gas shipments pass. And despite opposition from Seoul, the US has been redeploying air defense missiles from South Korea to the Middle East. Prompting debate in policy whether after 70 years of close security cooperation, Washington is shifting from being an indispensable defense partner to a liability. Jack Barton, Al Jazeera, Seoul.
Okay, let's get more on those videos using adjunct School of International Studies in Singapore. He joins us from China in Thailand. Thank you for your time. Now, it's really interesting.